everyone, welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith. Today I'm going to be doing a featured product video, and this featured product is for something that I think is absolutely incredible. And it really caught my attention when I was looking around on the internet. I was trying to find a way to enhance what will be the Kingdom Death Monster experience for myself, because I'll be doing this solo, and I really wanted something that would just add a little bit more immersion to the game board. The game board itself, as you're seeing here in front of you, is already incredible, but there are certain elements you can add to this game board in order to make it that much better. So what did I do? I took to Google and I took a quick search around trying to find somebody out there essentially who's creating amazing replacement pieces essentially for Kingdom Death Monster to really beef up and enhance the experience. And what I stumbled across was this Solid Stone Gaming. Now you're seeing that at the very bottom portion of your screen, there's a little picture there of the symbol or logo of the particular company. This company can be found on Etsy, so you can actually go there, which is basically a page, and I'll put a link in the description below so that nobody misses this. But essentially there's this link will take you directly to this creators page where they have their open shop where you're able to go through different items. And I can tell you guys right now that Etsy's already an incredible, and has been for quite a few many years, that this site has been very helpful to the board gaming community for many different games. There's many people creating different content on this particular site and selling their creative art and work here, and I think it's really, really cool. So this is where I happened to stumble across Solid Stone Gaming, and then I just had to have what I was seeing. I could not live without it once I saw it. It blew me away. And I can tell you, it blew me away on what I was seeing on screen, and then got even cooler when it finally arrived and was in my hands. So without too much further ado, let's talk quickly just a little bit about Kingdom Death Monster, and then we'll jump right into this featured product overview. So what we're going to talk about first off is the fact that I've already done a Kingdom Death Monster 1.5 unboxing. So if you are unfamiliar with the game or want to know what's inside the box, go check that out. And there's also another video following it inside of that playlist, which will also take you through the cards of Kingdom Death Monster. That one has a little bit of minor spoilers. I don't really stop on any one card and show anything off in great detail. But again, if you want to avoid seeing certain cards, then jump past that video. But again, it just gives you an idea of some of the artwork and some of the cards and how they're laid out, the sleekness of the cards, and how the presentation really matches the game itself. It's really, really cool. So anyway, give it a check out if you haven't seen it before. But anyway, we're here to talk about Solid Stone Gaming. Now, Solid Stone Gaming isn't a giant corporation or some huge company. It might sound that way, but on Etsy, these are actually typically one creator or maybe a couple creators behind the scenes doing all of the work. In this case, there's a creator named Scotty behind Solid Stone Gaming, and he is doing incredible stuff, as I've mentioned. And I want to show you it because just telling you that's incredible is not enough. I have to actually show you so you can see whether or not this is something you'd like to pick up. Now, if you're willing to stick around to the end of the video, I will also be letting you guys know of something really, really cool that I'll be giving back to this community in order to help you potentially pick this product up, which is even cooler. So let's get to it. I've got a whole bunch of things off screen here that we're going to go through one at a time. I'm going to do my best to cover them. If I do mess anything up, or I do stumble upon anything or mispronounce or misrepresent anything, please let me know in the comments below. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of Kingdom Death Monster supporters here that will definitely point out anything that I happen to make a mistake on, because I haven't played the game yet. I was just looking to enhance it. So I'll show you what comes in the core game first off. First thing you're going to see in the core game is a token sheet. So it's going to look something like this. It just has a whole bunch of tokens. There's more than just one token sheet, but you got things like columns. You've got these faces with plants coming out of them. You've got weird monsters. It looks like the dead monster, essentially. You've got some kind of grass off to the side. Again, more faces that you can use. This is the Lonely Tree. There's actually a miniature based off this, which doesn't come in the core game, but this represents it, I believe, in the core game at least. So I think there are elements that will call upon it, I think, in the core game, but if you want to actually buy the miniature for the Lonely Tree, that's a separate expansion. More pillars, and then a monster controller card and stuff like that. So anyway, it's not going to replace all the tokens you're seeing here, but a large majority of them, as well as adding in some extra cool ones as well. So we're going to take this away because this is, again, just tokens. Now, they look great. I have absolutely nothing against the tokens that come in the game. They're fantastic. But Solid Stone Gaming has gone to the next level in really putting a lot of effort in. So we're going to go through this one by one. And I'm going to show you a little bit about what is included in some of the products you can pick up from this particular Etsy site, either individually or as a larger package bundle. So here we go. Let's start it off with the very first thing. And this is probably the one that I think is probably the coolest, or at least it's up there. They're all really cool, but this is definitely going to be interesting. So first off, there's stone column set. There's a stone column set on this store, and it'll come with 9 pieces. And this set is meant to put columns out onto the map that are actually textured and made of like I can't explain too much about what it's made of. You might have to shoot some questions directly to Solid Stone Gaming and Scotty and to ask him. But essentially, I'll show you on screen what these things look like on the board. They look awesome. So here's an example of one of the columns completed. Absolutely incredible. You can see that this one's a pre-painted one, so not only was it created, but it's also got weight. It's very heavy. Like, it has a lot of weight. I don't want to dent my board, but essentially you can see they're perfectly made to fit squarely on the map, so you can have columns set up. And it comes with a set of 9. They're all made differently. They're all made custom and unique, so there's a lot of nice detail on there. It also gives it that aged look. I believe there's an element where he's able to potentially create certain looks and designs to these things to customize them, but essentially these can be put around the map in whatever fashion you want. But it just really adds a cool element to the game board. It's something that's not common in a typical base game. You've got ones that are broken columns, so you can even have, for instance, you could say, you know, if something was covering 2 slots, you could have this one knocked over. You could even have another piece like this off to the side, so it kind of looks like the column has fallen to the ground and is broken. There's other individual pieces that you can lay about, the dungeon in order to just kind of add to the look and feel of it. You've got broken column bases, so ones maybe where columns actually were, but no longer are there. So we could put that like here, and just have this all broken over here like this. It's just really cool. And I'm sorry that one's off screen. I'll try to bring it back in a little bit. So it's kind of like that. Like, you've got, so these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and this is the 9th piece. So again, just columns to represent all kinds of different unique game factors. And again, this is just going to replace tokens in the game, but looks fantastic. So that's one of the sets that you can pick up. All right, so actually, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to leave it on the board because I think it just looks cool, and we'll keep on going. So what we're going to do is I'll actually move this off the screen now, and we'll keep moving along. So the next thing that was done, or at least you can pick up for this particular game that I also think is really cool, is a set of Verdant stone faces. There's 9 of them. They come in prepackaged bags, so some of them are in bags like this. This is kind of what they'll come as if you buy them individually. You can see it's like a stone face. It actually has a face with a little leaf, and you'll see that each one of them is totally created differently. They all have a different look. They all look horrifying. They all look they kind of have different expressions on their face. I shouldn't say they're all horrifying. Some of them just look like they're sleeping. Other ones look like they were scared. Like this guy here looks like he saw a ghost, something from The Ring, kind of like that. There's another one here. So some of them, I believe, have open mouths and open eyes. And this is where it kind of mixes in with another pack that he has called the Crystal Ore Faces, where you get a pile of red crystals, and you can actually put those red crystals in the mouths or the eyes of the individual ones. So I have a couple that are outside of the bags right now, so I'll show you that to give you a better idea what they look like. So I'm just going to put a few in my hand here, and we'll scan past them. I'll try and get as many in my hand as possible. So here's an example of a few of them. So there's one with 2 pieces of grass sticking out of his mouth. There's one there you could easily put crystals inside of his eyes. Just really, really cool. So again, these are going to replace the tokens that are in the game. That one's got one coming out of his head. And you can see where there's giant kind of openings. You could easily fit crystals into those particular spots. And again, as I showed you earlier in the token sheet, there's certain ones that have crystals on them. So there's a whole bunch of different ones. Absolutely fantastic quality. And if anything, it really makes the board come alive when you start putting these things on there in different formations and stuff like that. If you just drop them around, you've got some pretty interesting interesting things to look at for sure. So it's adding theme to the game, right? So again, when you're playing your games, the game will tell you where to put your train tokens. But I mean, you could, if you wanted to, kind of proxy things in just for look and feel, and know in advance that they're there, and just move them if you have to. Again, just give some enhancement to the game. So like I said, there's a bunch here that are already in packages. I won't talk more about those. So we've covered the crystal ore stone faces, which would again, if I did them properly, I actually would put in some actual crystal ores. I'll show you what the package looks like. There's a separate package that comes with the kit, and it has all these different things, which we'll talk about right now, just so that there's no confusion. So this right here is what I was referring to in terms of the crystals. So I've got the ruby red ones. So these ones I would take individually, just take some quick glue and jam them into different parts of the faces if I wanted to add crystals. So this is totally customizable by you. He allows that, which I think is really cool. He's not forcing you into picking where you want your crystals to be. This one I'm a little bit less familiar with, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is for the dead grass terrain. So there's dead grass terrain we'll talk about later on, and he comes with some dirt, some soil that you can add in. It's obviously got the grass itself in there. And then these little things, these little brown things at the bottom, I think they're called hives, or maybe they're tusks. No, killer insect mounds, that's what they're called. And they're a set, and there's actually a few of those as well. So I'll show you what they look like. They're pretty cool. So there you go. So there's two of them right there, kind of one's broken out and the other one. So very, very thematic. So those again can sit on the board wherever you feel. So that looks really cool. And then again, these are more for the dead grass kind of stuff, but we need to pull the stones in order to use these. So I'll wait for a second. So let's go and start unwrapping some of the bigger stuff. So this is kind of like the smaller stuff, although these stone pillars are quite large. They look really cool. I hope you guys can actually see this. I'm going to kind of zoom in a little bit more so you can actually see a little bit more of the, there we go. So look awesome. All right. Let's do the next thing. Now, this is where it gets fun. When you buy these things, they come really well packaged. So they're all going to be wrapped up in kind of... Now, this is for like the larger miniature stuff. I don't even know what's in these yet until I crack them. So we'll open them up on camera and then kind of go from there. So I'm just going to kind of slip this off and see what's underneath. This one is... Oh, that's so cool. I'm a real big fan of this already. Look at the paint job on that. That is incredible. I have to zoom out just so we make sure we get the best quality there. But you can see you got the glow, you've got the rocks. That is awesome. Absolutely awesome. So I'm going to just check to see what this one's actually called. This is called the debris pile. And it has even the lanterns buried in. It even has a face there, a partial face. That is cool. So you can have like a debris pile just kind of sitting there. So I'm assuming there's another one probably, so I'll just open this one up. It's likely, and the cool thing about these is that they're never the same looking. He's done a really good job of painting these up and making them unique. So even though, like for instance, this one here, maybe these ones are very similar. They're similar, but you can see they're a little bit unique. So they have the same kind of pattern, but their faces are not perfectly identical. So yes, the placement of things is fairly similar for the debris piles, but that's really, really cool. The effort in that, in the painting quality. So you can choose when you actually go through the cart on Etsy whether you want to have them painted or unpainted. So I chose to have them painted because I just didn't want to have to deal with it. I'd rather just put the dead grass on the miniatures that I need to and be good to go. But as you can see, it's already creating tons of theme. Now again, most scenarios are not going to have you have this much debris and different tile effects and stuff like this and hazards and all this stuff sitting on the board at one time. But you can put stuff in as you feel. It's your game. You can do whatever you want with it if you want to add theme to it. So we've gone through those. Let's go to the next one. I don't even know what's in here, so I can't even give you a heads up or warning as to what you're going to see next, but I'm excited to find out. So, this looks a little red. Looks like this could be the dead... This is really cool. This is essentially called the Dead Monster Gut Pile. Or, no, sorry, this is the Human Corpses Pile. So even more disgusting. So you can see really shiny, nasty pile of dead people. Because that's fun. Because in Kingdom Death Monster, when your people die, this is what's going to represent them dying. So when a figure happens to die in battle, you're going to go ahead and place, a marker down to say, you had your little miniature running around, he's fighting off the monster, he dies, well, there's his corpse after the monster devours him. That's extremely cool. Let's keep going. I'm guessing the next one here is probably going to be the one that I thought was going to be that one. This is probably going to be the monster one, I think. So in other words, if you kill the monster, I think you get I think you get one that's specific to the monster. I could be totally wrong. Oh no, this one's going to be 2, so I guess you get 2 in that pack. Yes, you do. You get 2 human corpse piles in that particular one. So that's great because, you know, in most cases, you're like, it's Kingdom Death Monster. You're going to die. You're going to have guys that are going to die. You're going to probably need those. You're going to likely have a party of 4, have a couple deaths happen for sure. So, all right, so those are done. We've got, how many more left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 more to unwrap, and then we're done. And I can tell you about this really, really cool promotion for all rolling solo community that I think you guys are going to really think is cool if you're interested in this stuff. So we're going to go ahead and open this one. Oh my gosh, this is huge. I didn't think it was this big. Look at the size of this thing. Oh no, I think this one pulled. I think I did that. I broke that. Okay, so it was a little sticky inside the bag, so, but not to worry. I'm going to be able to fix that. Looks fantastic, but what I did actually was I separated it by accident. It was stuck to the bag, but that's easy. I have glue. That's a quick fix, just like this, and bam, there's nothing, no problem there. So this is the monster corpse pile. So this is really, really big and nasty. So when a monster dies, you know, and stuff like that, you're going to go ahead and put this corpse pile down to represent the monster dying, which is obviously a lot bigger and a lot more substantial than the human corpses. That's really cool, and don't worry about that little break off there. That was my fault. I pulled the wrapping paper in that direction, just happened to pull that high point off. I'm going to glue that back on. That won't be an issue. All right, so moving on to the next one. What have we got in this one? This could be the dead grass. I think it is. So this, I think, is the platform for the dead grass. So as you can see, there's really, really small like holes kind of in the top and bottom. So those are the portions, I believe, where you're going to be able to glue and put grass in. So I could be totally wrong on that one. But this one looks like, because this by itself is nothing, it also could be potentially a spot to put, you could build the husks into these things as well. It looks like they fit perfectly. Kind of looks like there's 4 indentations, so you might be able to glue them in that way. I'll have to look up to see what this is for, but I'm thinking it's for dead grass, or maybe it's just generic debris. So let me just do a quick cycle through here and just see if I missed it. No, I think it is for dead grass. So this is what I'm going to have to use these other items that I mentioned earlier in the video. I'm going to have to bring these and use these in order to create some texture on those flat surfaces. So you get a bunch. Oh, this is cool. I like that. That's really cool. So there you go. There's a lantern kind of sitting on one. So that's really I like that. That's really cool. So you got like a dark kind of area here with a lantern. So again, I'm starting to get so much stuff on screen here. It's finding hard to it's getting a little hard to place things exactly where I want them, but that's really, really cool. And then another one here. So let's unwrap these. These ones all seem to be flat. So, but each one's a little more different than the rest. So again, another one of these. I'm not sure if I know. Yes, they are. So they're considered dead grass terrain. You get 4 of them. So I've unwrapped 2 so far. Here's another one that looks like it has a little bit of water in the middle. It's kind of swampy looking. So that's really cool. We'll put that up here. And there's one more. I really like the uniqueness of all this stuff though. I think that's what really sold it for me when I was looking at this online. I was like, you're not just getting 1, 2, 3, 4 dead grass tiles, terrain tiles that are just all the same. Like there's some serious effort being put into making these things unique, and they really have that custom feel, which I think is just awesome. I love creators that go the extra mile in what they do. This is one of the reasons why I thought I had to show this stuff to you guys. Here's another one. This one has 2 lanterns, and actually looks like it has a face that has a remaining nose and mouth potentially. But then it got all beaten and broken up. That is really cool. So another really awesome terrain effect so that you can kind of just drop in there. I don't even know. I'm running out of space to put all this stuff. But that's really cool. All right, 2 more to go. These are the big guys. These are the exciting pieces. These are massive. So the last 2 pieces that I'm going to talk about, they are called, and I'm going to make sure I get this terminology right, gigantic stone faces. That makes sense. And these replace the giant stone face tiles that you saw earlier in the video. So let's open these up and see what's inside. Wow. My goodness. That is cool. Now, so this is the other thing that's really cool with these. He made these unique, so they're not going to match the actual stone faces that are in the tiles. So this is another reason why the art, like this is where things get really cool, is that they look just pretty generic. They're sleeping. There's nothing too amazing about those 2. but he's gone the extra mile and created something that just thematically fits in. Even the crazy 3 rows of teeth, match the 3 rows of teeth on those faces in the center. That is phenomenal, and the amount of work on this just looks incredible, and I love the paint job too. So we're going to put this off to the side. That's just super, super creepy. So a huge stone face. And then there's one more that's going to be added in here. And it's another one. So 2 of them. So this is going to look the same as the other one, but you get 2 in this particular pack. So that's awesome. But I really like the fact that Unique, in terms of creativity, he went off on his own and did his own thing on this stuff. He put his own spin on this stuff. And that's what I really enjoy seeing, is seeing somebody take something that is standard and just put their own energy and focus into creating something completely unique. Very cool. Very, very cool. So this is the entire set. Now I'm going to give you some information on this set. So as of right now, as of this recording, and this could change in time, from what I'm seeing here on the site right now, this particular set, if you were to pick this up, this is $132 Canadian. So remember, that is Canadian. So this is going to change greatly. Now, he does ship worldwide, so I'm just talking Canadian dollars as of current day. It's obviously going to change for UK values, US values. There's all kinds of different exchange rates there that are different. So check it out on Etsy. Go to the description to find out more. But essentially, what I've actually worked out with Scotty, because this stuff was so awesome, I really wanted to share it with you guys. I also wanted to give you guys the opportunity to pick it up for yourselves at a decent price. So what happened is we've actually got, now $132.09, from my understanding, is the unpainted version of all this stuff. So you get everything here but not painted. It would be up to you to paint it and then go ahead and go forward with whatever style you want. If you want to have it hand painted, it goes from $132 to $264. So things double basically in price. So because he's not only creating all of this stuff, he'd also be hand painting it. So that's what I got with this. So that's, and again, this is all in Canadian dollars, so this is drastically, or it's quite a bit different when you're talking US dollars and UK and everything else. So take that into account, check it out like I said. Now the cool thing that he's willing to do, and we've worked out in order for us to, or in order for you guys to have access to this stuff, is we've actually allowed a way within Etsy so that if you are a Rolling Solo viewer, you are able to actually go to the website, and when you go through the checkout, you can put in Rolling Solo 15. So that's Rolling Solo. It looks like it's in all upper caps with 15 at the end. There's no spaces whatsoever, and it's good for 15% off when ordering the full set. So that's painted or unpainted. So you get 15% off of whatever the going rate is for the unpainted version currently, which right now is $132 Canadian. So 15% off that, or 15% off the $264 for the painted edition. Now, so that's, I'm hoping that that's a huge help to you guys. For those of you that have this game and want to be able to just enhance it quickly, this would be phenomenal. And again, if you're a painter, someone who would enjoy doing this yourself, you can go for the unpainted version and go to town and really paint it up how you want to paint it up. Or you can, if you like what you're seeing here, you can go ahead and have it done by Scotty himself, and I can tell you, it's phenomenal. It looks awesome. Like and I can't wait to get the miniatures on the board in there with it. I also going to need to put, and I am missing, putting this dirt, like the dirt and the actual grass into these 4 spots would even add more to it. So it's just phenomenal. It's fantastic. Can't say enough about it. It's too cool. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope that was helpful. I hope this was something really unique, and that's what I'm hoping to do, is to bring you guys some interesting videos that you may not just always gameplay videos, but also ways to enhance how you play games solo. So hopefully this is useful. If you have any questions whatsoever, fire them in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts. I can get back to Scotty if there's any kind of discrepancy or anything we need to work out. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and keep on rolling solo.